Welcome in, basketball fans and Mavs Nation. Today we're discussing the latest Dallas Mavericks news and rumors because there's a lot going down right now, and it starts with the man that's at the center of all of free agency, Kevin Durant. Is he coming to Dallas? Maybe. They got a chance. Tim McMahon of ESPN says that his latest injury, which was, of course, a torn Achilles, gives the Dallas Mavericks a chance at landing KD. Now, look, the team is still a long shot to land the guy, but at least they're in the running now. At least they're being thrown into the hat. Maybe they get at least a meeting with him or something like that because of his torn Achilles. Now, he's not going to be deterred any kind of offers. Teams are still going to be willing to give him the max contract, but one of those teams could be Dallas, and if they do that, all of a sudden the Mavericks become extra exciting, as if they weren't already with Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. Here's a potential starting five by adding KD. You get Jalen Brunson and Luka Doncic in the same backcourt. Of course, Luka will handle the majority of the ball handling responsibilities there. Kevin Durant is your focal point. Kristaps Porzingis is there, still putting up his 23 points per game. And then your rim rolling center in Dwight Powell. Now, of course, Kevin Durant would have to sit out this first year, but maybe that gives the young Mavs, some time to continue to develop and work out some chemistry. And who knows, if they make a playoff run, Durant all of a sudden returns, and is Dallas a title contender? People are talking. So the top teams interested in Kevin Durant. Now, I still don't put the Mavs in this top five, okay? Let's be a little realistic. Trust me, I know you want to see him there. But really, it's the New York Knicks and the Golden State Warriors, number one, and number two, no matter how you look at it. Number three, I got the Los Angeles Clippers. Still a long shot, but they're up there. The Brooklyn Nets, the other New York team, might be getting a little more realistic, maybe a better chance at landing him. And then the Lakers, I got them down at number five, maybe even tied with similar odds to the Mavs because I can't see KD teaming up with LeBron James. Now, we said the injury gives the Mavs a better chance, but why is that exactly? Well, they have a top-tier training staff led by Casey Smith, who has been with the organization for so long now. They've already helped one player rehab from a torn Achilles. It was Wesley Matthews back in 2016 when they signed him away from the Portland Trailblazers. He didn't return to his same old self, but he got back in 8 months, which is almost unheard of for an Achilles tear. And they've also helped multiple players that have dealt with injuries their entire career get on this path of success. Guys like Tyson Chandler come to mind. Couldn't get healthy before he got to Dallas and then became a Defensive Player of the Year candidate and winner eventually in New York. So maybe their history of dealing with players with major injuries helps them land a guy who just suffered one himself in Kevin Durant. So look, I'm not predicting him to Dallas. I'm going to be as realistic as possible here. I still think he goes to New York. But where do you think Kevin Durant will end up this summer? Put it down in the comment section. But now let's move on to another small forward that might be headed to Dallas as well. Kawhi Leonard. What in the world? He hasn't even been talked about with Dallas, and now all of a sudden, are they a sleeper team to land the guy? Bleacher Report says that Dallas should be a team Kawhi Leonard should consider this summer. Now, why is that? Well, number one, because Kawhi Leonard hates the cold. And it's never cold in Texas, so there's your number one reason. But number two, because they have a good young core already in Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis, and you throw Kawhi Leonard in there, who's just 27 years old, and they have a good big three to build on for a long time in Dallas. Now, of course, Kawhi had an incredible season in his first year with the Toronto Raptors, 27 points per game, 7.3 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and then doing it all pretty efficiently at nearly 50%. So what do the Mavs all of a sudden look like if they add Kawhi Leonard? Well, basically the same lineup that they would have with Kevin Durant, but you throw in a healthy Kawhi Leonard from day one, and I don't care who you are, this Dallas Maverick team is a title contender. So a new big three coming to Dallas? 27-year-old Kawhi Leonard leads the pack. He would still be the first option in Dallas no matter how you look at it. Then Kristaps Porzingis is still just 23 years old, and Luka Doncic is 20 years old, and this team can grow and grow for a long time. Now, is it realistic? No, but it's just saying that he should. He should consider the Mavs. I mean, you look at what they have with their wing depth right now. Dorian Finney-Smith and Justin Jackson are quality small forwards, but let's be honest, 7.5 and 7.2 points per game it's not Kawhi Leonard, to put it simply. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a shooting guard. He's not a small forward, so he's there as a wing option. Courtney Lee and then Ryan Broekhoff there at the end, both putting up just 4 points per game. Now, look, I think they're running in the running for the #1 team in the West if they all of a sudden add Kawhi Leonard to this core. But where do you think Dallas would rank in the Western Conference next season with a healthy Kawhi Leonard, a healthy Kristaps Porzingis, and Rookie of the Year Luka Doncic in his second year? Let me know in the comment section. And then while you guys do that, I want to make sure you know to follow me on Twitter at all_things_Mavs, because there I'm giving you every Maverick take that I can, every single little take, every little bit of free agency news. I'm giving it to you at all_things_Mavs. So make sure you follow me there on Twitter. And then also, more importantly, make sure you subscribe to Chat Sports on YouTube, because this summer is going to be a big one, and we're going to be going live for the draft. We're going to be going live for all the big news in free agency, so you're going to make sure you're tuned in every single day to Chat Sports. Now on to another free agent that maybe is a little bit more realistic for Dallas. It's Kemba Walker. All of a sudden, he's open to taking less than the supermax for the Hornets. Of course, he became eligible for that supermax after he made the 3rd All-NBA team. But if he does leave, rumor is he's considering Dallas, or that Dallas, New York, and the Lakers would be extremely interested in chasing the all-star point guard who really just hasn't been successful in Charlotte. They can't put a team around him. He's been there 8 years now. He's made the playoffs just twice. But here's exactly what he said when he was asked about his free agency. He was asked, is Charlotte still your priority? He said, I don't know how many times I can say that. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how many times I can say it, but if it doesn't work out, I'm definitely prepared to play somewhere else, and that is key. But yes, I would love to be in Charlotte. So he's prepared to play somewhere else, but all of a sudden he's also willing to take less than the supermax from Charlotte. Don't really know what he's going to end up doing this summer, but what he did last year was extra impressive, and it's a big reason he made that 3rd team All-NBA. 25.6 points per game. He pulled down 4.4 rebounds, dished out 5.9 assists despite being on a miserable team, and then shot nearly 36% from beyond the three-point arc. Kemba Walker is an elite point guard, 29 years old, looking to get paid this summer. But guys that are already getting paid, that are already on Charlotte, it's pretty bad. I mean, you look at what these contracts are already. Nicholas Batum, $25 million, averaging 9 points per game. Bismack Biyombo, $17 million. He's averaging 4 points per game. And then Marvin Williams just opted into the last year of his contract. He'll be getting $15 million next season. Cody Zeller, $14 million. Michael K. Gilchrist, he's also got an option getting $13 million. These guys are overpaid in Charlotte. Kemba Walker is in a tough cap situation there. But Kemba Walker is also represented by a little guy named Jeff Schwartz. He's an agent that represents a lot of players in the NBA, not just these guys, but these are some current and former Mavericks that are repped by Jeff Schwartz. Dwight Powell, of course, with the team right now, looking to get paid, get a little contract extension this summer. Devin Harris, he's had 2 stints with Dallas. We'll see what he does this summer. He is a free agent. Harrison Barnes played in Dallas since 2016, got traded away this last season. DeAndre Jordan played about half this year before getting swapped for Kristaps Porzingis. And then Tyson Chandler, of course, won a championship in Dallas in 2011 and then came back again in 2014. And we all know that agents love to pair their players together on the same team. So maybe Schwartz is calling up Kemba and said, hey, let's get you to Dallas. And all of a sudden their starting 5 is Kemba Walker and Luka Doncic in the same backcourt. Both of them can share ball handling responsibilities. 26 points per game from Kemba, 21, of course, from Luka. And then that front court there, Finney Smith, Dwight Powell, and Kristaps Porzingis. Those are your main guys. So I need to know from you guys, because there's a lot of debate going around Mavs Twitter. You have a hot take. You either love Kemba in Dallas or you hate it. So would you want to see Kemba Walker in a Dallas Maverick uniform next season? If you would, type Y for yes. If you wouldn't, type in for no. And tell me why. I mean, tell me why you wouldn't, because I would. 26 points per game. Heck, bring him on. Now on to the draft. What are the Mavs going to do with the 37th overall pick? Well, one thing that they might be doing is selecting Chuma Okeke out of Auburn. Of course, he tore his ACL in the NCAA tournament against North Carolina. They were on an incredible run. He was probably their best player at the time and then went down, which means, unfortunately, he's likely going to miss a good portion of his rookie season. It'll basically be like he's redshirting that rookie season, at least half of it, until he comes back healthy. And before that, he really was projected to be a first-round pick. His defense and his three-point ability, which of course makes him a 3-and-D player, one of my favorite terms that I use here for draft prospects, was something that's really important. But he's not the only guy that the Mavs could look at in the second round. I put out a little list. These are probably the top 5 guys Dallas should consider if they're available there at 37. Chuma Okeke at number 1 because, let's face it, if he's healthy, he's a first-round talent. Bruno Fernando, also a first-round talent, late first-round kind of guy, but if he falls to Dallas at 37, heck, let's take him. Daniel Gafford, sophomore out of Arkansas. He was projected to be a lottery pick last season, but he last year, but he decided to come back for his second year at Arkansas, and he's dipped quite a bit. Lewis King out of Oregon has the same measurements as Cam Reddish. Don't sleep on this guy. He is a freshman, a younger guy that would take some time to develop. And then Admiral Schofield, an upperclassman guy out of Tennessee that can finish above the rim and shoot it from deep and, of course, defend as well. And look, I like Chuma Okeke. I like what he would bring to Dallas. It's just all about that ACL. You know, is he going to be healthy? Mavs are going to want someone that can produce almost right away, which is what you're hoping for out of a second-round pick, like a Jalen Brunson-type guy. And Okeke can't really do that because of his ACL injury. But you see what he did this past season at Auburn. Kind of had a breakout year, 12 points per game, 7 rebounds, the 1.9 assists, and then the 50% from the field. He's 6'9", power forward or small forward, depending on how you play him at the next level. So, of course, at 37, the Mavs are looking to get good value. Well, talk about good value. Here's 4 recent 37th overall picks that panned out to be pretty nice NBA players. Semi Ojeleye of the Boston Celtics, a great defensive guy that is just built like a tank. Richaun Holmes, power forward, he finishes above the rim. He's a good rim protector as well. He's still got some room to grow. DeJuan Blair spent some time with the Mavs, of course, drafted by the Spurs. Undersized center that proved to be a solid overall pick at 37. And then Luka Mbah-a-Moute, a great player, a great defensive presence that helped out a lot of teams in his career. But the Mavs have a really good history already of picking these guys in the second round or picking guys up that are undrafted. So who's to say that they won't pick someone that is going to produce in the second round? Of course, Jalen Brunson last season was the 33rd overall pick. He really just stood out right away, came in and contributed when it mattered. JJ Barea, of course, was undrafted, and they picked him up, and he's been basically a cornerstone of this Dallas Mavericks franchise. Dorian Finney-Smith out of Florida was undrafted. Mavs got him, saw what he could do in the summer league, and they really loved him. Dwight Powell was the 45th overall pick, but the Mavs acquired him from Boston in that Rajon Rondo trade, now better known as the Dwight Powell trade. And then Maxi Kleber, another guy that went undrafted, came over from Germany, spent some time. He's actually from Dirk's hometown, and that's probably what helped him get a contract, but what's helping him stay relevant is his play on the court. So we just talked about Chuma Okeke, could be a great value pick for the Mavs at 37, but I want to know from you guys, the Mavs fans for life, who do you want to see Dallas draft at number 37 in this year's 2019 NBA Draft?